Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I take the floor on behalf of the NGC under SO63 to make our own contribution to this budget debate. At the beginning of this debate, Honorable Timbo asked a rhetorical question, and I quote, "Are we a rich or poor nation?" And I think his question puts our debate in context, because ultimately this budget is the government's economic blueprint. And that economic blueprint should try to create jobs, wealth in the economy, and also reduce poverty in the process. But he asked the question, are we a rich or poor nation? Well, if you look at the budget document itself, paragraph 4, page 2, they give you some indicators about where we stand globally. And I quote, the recently introduced World Bank Human Capital Index ranks Sierra Leone 151 out of 157, while the 2018 UNDP Human Development Index rated Sierra Leone 184 out of 189. Paragraph 134, page 30, I quote, 1 out of every 3 girls aged 15 to 19 years are either mothers or they're pregnant. So you look at our economy after 3 poverty reduction strategy papers, one done by the SLPP government previous, 2 done by the APC government, one called Agenda for Change, another one called Agenda for Prosperity. Then you look at these most recent indicators put here, it means we didn't move in 20 years or 25 years. We run fast, but we end up amongst always the poorest 5 nations in the world. So for 30 years, we didn't move. We do a lot of stuff. We run, but we end up at the same place. It's like we say in development, it's as if you're on a poverty treadmill. You're running, but you're in the same position. So that's the answer to your question. And it puts in context why we take this debate serious. When I listen to this side, of course, you like every line in the budget. You listen to this side, they want to erase every line in the budget. It's good for you that you have C4C and NGC in the middle here. We don't have these 3. Our comments have to be taken in good faith. We want to strengthen this document. We do want this government to succeed, and therefore we have no interest in diminishing this budget, but rather to add a few elements that will ensure, as Honorable Rebecca said, make it more pro-poor, make it more private sector friendly, and also institute more fiscal discipline. So with that, let me transition into some elements. And I start with fiscal discipline. The government has said it is fiscal consolidation for human capital development. We worry about fiscal indiscipline. We commend the government that so far they've done a lot in revenue mobilization. In fact, they've been able to finance operations in spite of the fact, if you look at page 3 and 4, donor money has not come. Somehow they've met obligations. It's not the first time, but they've done it. However, successive governments have always overspent. You look at every IMF recommendation for 10, 15 years, they always warn our governments, don't overspend, watch your wage bill. But I think this budget also is spending too much. This is my honest opinion. If you put it in context, 2016, the previous government declared austerity measures. Yeah, they declared austerity measures. But if you look into this document, they give you evidence that in fact, in spite of austerity measures, they overspent in 2017. If it is true, this government says the economy collapsed, I don't think they should be spending too much now. They should consolidate. But the wage bill, the expenditure, look at everything is going on. You look within this document, Annex 1, and I give credit to the young Turks, Honorable Timbo. He forced me to go back and look at Annex 1 and Annex 6. Hiring more, I worry. Because the budget already says that government intends to spend more. If the economy is as bad as you say, if it is true the previous government also declared austerity, are we not preparing ourselves for another collapse? If it is a business, first you consolidate. You look at the institutions before you hire more. So we worry that if we go on a massive hiring spree, if in fact we do not look at these many commissions, many agencies that we have, and we don't restructure them, we will put new wine in old wineskin. I worry about that. We need more teachers. And I commend the government for suggesting that in fact we might hire 5,000 more. We might hire 3,000 more nurses. But I ask the question, how soon? What will be the regional distribution of the 5,000? We don't want to find ourselves in a position where we create jobs for the boys. We've seen it in previous administrations. No, just general comments. The previous government also had its own tricks. But if it is 5,000, what's the regional distribution? What will be the proficiencies, the skills? Are we going to do some audits of skills requirements? The major objection we have is the hiring of 1,000 more civil servants. We as NGC, we think it is too soon. Examine, do an evaluation of the MDAs, of the commissions, the agencies, many of them that exist. And you look at the emoluments of some of these commissions and agencies. That's why you see MPs get angry about welfare. When you look at all those salaries, emoluments, you ask yourself, should we be hiring more civil servants or should we be hiring more agricultural extension workers to rebuild this economy? So the first comment is that we worry that there is not enough fiscal discipline. We worry about overspending. We caution the government. We urge the government, don't spend yet. Consolidate, because you still have to pay more for free education and also for the health sector.